Plan Watch Walk, the home of great walking and open and honest equipment reviews. Today we are looking at the Ultimate Performance Advanced Insole with F3D damping. So before we get into these, there's quite a lot in this review. So before we get into this, we'll just have a quick look at where we've been. So the insoles have been used across many different walks, up on the hills, up on the field, up on the hills, up on the fells, up on top of trig points. I've been out across scree, across the moors, across bogs, 15+ mile days. So overall they've had a really pretty good going over, to be perfectly honest. I just want to jump in really quickly before we get going with the review itself and just say, to work out what type of insole you actually need, there's a really easy test. So we've got potentially underpronation, neutral and overpronation, and I'll put a little image in the screen there you can see. So I come to the conclusion you probably don't really want to see my feet. So if we have a look at this little bit of video now, it's a nice little test to show you how you can actually work out what type of insole you actually need.
Choose the right insole for your running shoes from Ultimate Performance using their easy foot arch test. Simply stand on a piece of paper with wet feet and examine your footprint. According to their handy online guide, my feet are neutral, so I need the advanced F3D neutral insole, but you might need the support or cushion version.
So if we have a look, what I'll do, we'll have a look at the insoles themselves to start off with. So the insoles themselves, you see here, and we've got on the back of here, we've got these pads, etc. So what I'll do, I'll put an overlay on the screen now and you can see. So there's a lot of different, in forefoot, the mid range, the arch, etc., and the heel support. So there's a lot of different characteristics that are sitting in and around here, and there's the wicking compound, which I'll come on to as well. So what I decided to do with these insoles, I decided to put them in a number of different footwear to see how they worked. So we've got a heavy duty boot. This is the Helly Hansen. All of these boots are all reviewed on the channel. If you are interested in looking at any of these footwear, have a look at those as well. So the Helly Hansen heavy duty boot, quite high up the ankle and lots of support sitting around here, but a heavy duty boot. The next one is the Solomon, and this is the X Ultra 360 Edge, slightly lighter weight boot. Lots of foam padding, etc., sitting around. Great boot as well. And the lightest one is the walking shoe, which I chose the Dolomite Mindlibly footwear. So it's been in all of those footwear, etc. So we have a look at the structure of the insole itself. If we have a look at a standard insole you will get from a boot when it comes, a lot thinner, very good, I've not had a problem with them. And then you have a look at, this one here. So what I would say is, if your boot's reasonably tight on your feet, just be aware that these will take up a little bit more room. Not a deal breaker, but just be aware they're going to take up a bit more room in your foot. In your boots, you might have to adjust the lace pattern of your boot, loosen them on slightly, just to give yourself that little bit more room within inside the boot. What I will say is, when I got to the end of the day's walk, well, during the day's walk actually, what I found was that I could feel just inside here, but in a nice way, the support of the arch sitting around here of the insole, keeping my pronation in the right lineage. So that worked well. But what also worked very well is when you get to the end of the day's walk and the following day, when you get up, especially if you had a long walk, etc., knees or joints or whatever, what I found was that it certainly helped on the recovery side after the walk as well, which is always good news because a quicker recovery is fantastic. So that worked particularly well. As I say, the padding in these is very, very good. The wicking, never found that it actually generated any more heat at all inside the boot, etc. So if we have a look at the overall performance of the inner soles against the criteria, we can see here that really it worked pretty well overall. No real weaknesses inside there at all. So overall, I've used a number of my time. I've used a number of different inner soles with inside standard boots, these ones, and other branded insoles, etc. And I found these worked particularly well. So I wouldn't have a great deal of problem in recommending these if this is what you're looking for. Again, they'll do running shoes as well as walking boots, etc. So I hope you found that review useful. If you have, thumbs up would be great. If you haven't already subscribed to Plan Watch Walk, it'd be fantastic if you become part of the Plan Watch Walk family. And I hope you found it useful. And thank you very much for watching. And until we meet again on the next video, bye for now.